Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bros House. I've got a movie review for you. Superman, Man of Tomorrow, which is basically Superman Year 1. I'll give you a bit of a spoiler-free section, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes. This movie is, like I said, it's set in Year 1. It skips over what happens to Krypton. We've all seen that a billion times. We skip over Clark learning his abilities as a young kid. Seen that a billion times. So we sort of start off with Clark Kent in Metropolis. He's an intern at the Daily Planet, and he's been dubbed by his co-workers as the coffee boy. He's basically a nobody at this point. He's been saving people for a little while. They refer to him as the Flying Man. This is before he has a costume. He's got a makeshift, just wears jeans and a jacket basically, and something to cover his face. And that's where it basically starts off. The animation style I sort of had a problem with to begin with. It was a bit like Archer. It sort of had these big bold black outlines of the characters, but what I figured out that they were trying to do was to separate it from the DCAU that had just finished with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. So it grew on me as the movie went on. When I saw it in stills, I was like, that looks a bit meh. But as I got into the movie, it became okay for me. It was alright. It was okay. The cast, I mean, let's just start with Lobo. Lobo's in this movie. He shows up, and he's played by Ryan Hurst, who you may know as Ope from Sons of Anarchy. Shout out to Opie, bruh. Shout out to OP. He plays Lobo, and the way he plays him is just brilliant. But it sort of makes you sad in a way that Jason Momoa didn't get to play him. The way Lobo was, and the way that Momoa could have played him, is just the most perfect casting that never happened. Not saying he's terrible or anything as Aquaman, but seeing Lobo here in this movie, it just makes you really wish that Jason Momoa got to play that role. But it's all good. But Lobo's great in this movie. We get the Superman staples, Lex Luthor and your Lois Lane. Zachary Quinto plays Lex. You don't see much of Lex, but you see enough to make you think he's gonna be a prick. Like in the next follow-up movies, he's gonna be a dickhead. You know what I mean? He's gonna be someone you sort of hate him a little bit now, but you can just tell that he's going to be huge problems for Superman coming soon. That's what Lex is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a pain in the butt. It's supposed to be a pain in the ass for Superman, isn't he? Lois is so cool in this movie. She comes off so strong and such a normal man wouldn't be able to handle her. You know what I mean? It's because Clark is the way Clark is that he's able to see past her strong will, like her strong head. Like normal men couldn't be with someone like Lois. Like Superman can take her spark or whatever it is. It's hard for me to explain, but take her strong femaleness and just love her for how she is. We love her, but she would be tough work. That's what I was trying to say. It took me 40 minutes to say that. 40 seconds to say that it should be tough work. But she's played really cool in this movie. I like the way that she is in this movie. Jonathan and Mark Kent, they're also cool. They're fine. They have smaller roles, but you know, I think they're fine. They play the parents really, really well, and you can see that they've instilled great values into Clark from the get-go, which is always good. And as far as spoiler-free, man, I mean, the action's great. There's some scenes you're just like, that's dope. That's amazing. The action scenes are cool. Like, there's little parts that I like where, like, this part here, like, he's getting shot with a minigun, and, like, little parts of his clothes are coming off, and, like, he's getting, like, but the way it's shot, the clothes are flailing off, and bits of his body's is getting exposed. Little parts like that really get me going. Yeah, that looks tight. So there's heaps of good action scenes in this movie. You see Superman use his whole arsenal of powers, but you see him get wrecked as well. You just don't want a super OP Superman. He does get wrecked. The action scenes are great. Yeah. As far as spoiler free, that will about do it. If you're wondering if you should see this movie, give it a go. It's not terrible. I don't think it's not up there with the top tier DC animated movies. I'll put it that way. It doesn't come out strong and amazing, but it's okay. It's good, but it's not top tier, but it's not bottom tier either. So now to the nitty gritty. There were Martian Manhunter is in this as well, and so when Clark's an adult here, he doesn't know his origin. He doesn't know that he's come from a planet called Krypton. Doesn't know that he's named Kal-El, and you see that Martian Manhunter has been sort of keeping an eye on him in Metropolis, and an eye on the Flying Man as he gets caught first, and so they sort of get introduced to each other by having to come to blows with Lobo. Lobo comes through and he's like, I've come here to collect the bounty of the last son of Krypton. And Clark's like, pretty much like, what's a Krypton? What is that? And he's like, that's what you are, Kryptonian. He's like, wow, I've never heard that before. So that part was okay, yep, cool. And Martian Manhunter, they beat Lobo together. They put him behind bars for a little bit. And Martian Manhunter goes to see Clark. And Martian Manhunter sort of goes into Clark's mind and can see memories from when Clark was an infant. And he tells Clark when they're sitting down and chilling that, I know where you come from. I read your memories when you were a baby. And I don't know why you were sent here. And John Jones believes that he's the last of his race as well. Of his race. So they're both connecting on that sort of level. Like, shoot, I'm an alien, last of my kind. You're an alien. Like, we just become best friends? Yep. Type deal, And so, and Clark's holding that key there, that little triangle thingamabobby. And John Jones, because he read Clark's mind, he sort of figures out how to open it because his parents must have did it in his memory. So he figures out how to open it. And it's basically like a record of Kryptonian history. And Superman's like, whoa. So basically Superman overnight reads and sees how he came to be, how his parents put him in a ship, his planet blew up. So that was a bit different, having Martian Manhunter, and Clark sort of get together on that level this close into the story. I thought that was quite an interesting aspect. Yeah, Martian Manhunter, shout out to him, bro. Like, it's cool him finally getting some love, finally being in these movies. He didn't make it into the Justice League movie, which I think he should have. He's a big staple in the Big Seven, so it was cool seeing him get some love in this movie. Yeah, so, and then we get introduced to Parasite. He's not Parasite when he starts off, obviously. What happened here? So, technical difficulties. He doesn't start off as Parasite. He's a janitor that works at Star Labs. And then because Lobo and Clark Kent, Lobo and the Flying Man, having their fight, coming to blows, because of the chaos that ensues, he gets caught up in it. I forgot his name. The janitor. We'll call him the janitor. He gets caught up in this whole mess, and something happens to him, and he becomes Parasite. And he can steal your life force, and then you'll just shrink up and die. And he's just power hungry. He just comes out and he needs life force to survive. He gets more powerful with more people he touches. Eventually he gets hands on Superman. Superman's getting wrecked. That was a great fight scene. He touches Martian Manhunter, so he has both their powers, and he's just out basically wrecking shop. And I'll just fast forward to the end of the movie. It's basically Parasite is so powerful now. He's basically as big as Godzilla, and there's like a little homage, I'd say, in the final battle where Superman's like looking out to the water, and you see like this big sort of tidal hulking wave come through, and then Parasite stands up, and it's basically, if you wanted to see Superman and Godzilla fight, this is probably the closest you'll get, and it's brilliant. It's awesome. Superman and Godzilla. Who wouldn't want to see that? So Parasite, it's probably a forgettable villain because he just walks around going "Arr!" and just touches everybody and steals all their life force and takes the Superman's powers. But it's probably a good thing that we didn't get like the big bad guys in a launch movie, if you know what I mean. Parasite was a decent enough villain. He wasn't terrible, but I think Lobo steals the show. Whenever he's on screen, he's just hilarious. He's making sex jokes and shit, and Lobo's the man. Shout out to Lobo. Parasite wasn't bad. So there's this huge Godzilla vs Superman battle, which is crazy to look at. It's awesome. So we went through Superman origin with Martian Manhunter. That was a cool dynamic. Parasite basically turns into Godzilla near the end. Look, this film isn't terrible. You're not going to get a lot that is brand new out of this, except for little things like what I said with Martian Manhunter. But basically, not a terrible film. Not a fantastic, amazingly well done film, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Probably, if I was to grade it, it'd probably be a B minus. Just give it a B minus. This film's not terrible. Go check it out. I think it just came out today. Go and have a look and tell me what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching The Bros House. Take care.